welcome to my apartment today. I have my friend here, Donna, and I'm Angie, and we're going to be having a really neat conversation with you today. And it's on a subject that maybe we don't always, or we think about ourselves, but we don't, discuss it too often. But, just about growing older.
Aging.
Getting old. Yes, aging. And we had a long discussion on that not too long ago.
Yeah, I think yesterday afternoon, actually. We were talking.
And it's like, well, you're at a certain age, and whatever it is, it's your 40s or 50s or it's your 80s like us,
right.
That, you just have to look at yourself and say, well, I accept me where I am. I'm not necessarily the one to say that because I fight it all the way.
So,
you always think about yourself as not a number, although,
right.
I guess that's where it all is. But because, how we feel inside, that if we feel vibrant or we feel like, okay, we're doing something good.
And remember we were talking that we don't, and with Carol too the other day, we were sitting here and we were saying, but we look older, but you know what? I feel 35 inside, and so do you, right? I mean,
well, probably maybe
55.
Yeah, that would be my perfect age.
Yeah, 55 would be your perfect.
Well, I think so. I don't know, 40 something or 50. Yeah.
What would be your perfect age?
Yes, right. You'll have to think about that.
Yeah, I think mine. I think you're right. I think mine would, if I were really honest, would be about 40. I think.
Well. Yeah, well, that's always the prime. Your kids are pretty much out of the house.
Right, your kids are gone. You do what you want now.
Yeah, you can do what you want. That's right. But
clean that bedroom up.
But it's there in our country. There's so much talk about anti-aging. We should put stuff on. We should look youthful and everything. And so they aren't giving us old folks, enough.
We've earned our stars and stripes, right? We've earned our wrinkles. And we went to a movie, Angie. Remember, we went on Monday, I think, to a movie, and we saw 80 for Brady because we're 80, and that draws us to it.
Yeah, right.
But now Jane Fonda is 85.
But she's had many, many facelifts. I know what I mean. We haven't. We're just aging, and I don't. You get you this.
We like Sally Field. I mean, because
she's natural.
She's natural, and I mean, let's face it. If you're 80 and you look like Jane Fonda, or even Rita Moreno, though I love her, she's great, and all that. But she's 91. I don't care what she does. I don't care what any of them do. To tell you the truth, they got the money. They should be able to make themselves pretty.
But we should be kind to ourselves.
Right.
And
we're never going to look
who's
like
our authentic self.
Right.
That if we don't recognize ourselves as valuable, in some way. I mean, you don't have to be top-notch everything. You just have to feel like, I'm making a difference. I have a
purpose.
Yes.
I still have a purpose. And that's up to you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can hide or you can come out,
Because, that's all part of, your self-care.
That's right.
How are you... I mean, if you talk negative to yourself all the time, or you complain all the time, what is that going to get you? It's going to come back. The universe gives it back to you. I've always said you have to be positive.
That's true.
And if you aren't positive, those vibes aren't going to come to you.
Right.
You should at least, have a hobby, or maybe you volunteer, or maybe that you are doing something special with grandchildren, or helping out somewhere. I do think that, we don't have to accomplish big things. As we age, and when we're in our 20s, we had a certain thing that we did, 30s, 40s, and on up until, us being in our 80s. But what it is that, when we take care of ourselves and I think, compliments are always so nice. There's so many compliments. You just feel so good. No, why can't you compliment yourself?
Very nice today, Angie.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But how if you compliment yourself, you're speaking to that inner you, and you you just feel more alive, I think. And so you have to get into that mindset. I know we all have some kind of aches and pains. We have some kind of worry on our hands, or that we're living alone and we're lonely. I mean, that is, so prevalent, in the country now. Because, people are living longer. And
That's right.
I think people want to be more independent, so they are living in their homes or
Yes.
their apartments or whatever.
So therefore they
don't
could be
see
alone.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And so this is where that self-care is so
It is.
so important. It's like, well, alrighty, now I'm going to be my own cheerleader.
Right, and you do. You have to be your own.
know.
You just say. I mean, let's face it. When we get up in the morning, at first we go, oh man, gotta get up. So you're getting up, or maybe you're really but it takes a while. A lot of people say they have to stand first when they first get up, and just the movement process for most people, if they're in their 80s or older, a lot of times it's just. But once you get started, you're okay.
Well, it's your space, I mean, it's yours to do. And whether you're living in a house or apartment, or helping home of some kind, then you just have to just feel like, well, this is the only day I have. I mean,
This
this
is my
day
day.
I'm going to do something.
That's right.
Or I'm not. Or hey, maybe it isn't something big. Maybe I'm going to watch a particular a TV show because I like it, or I'm going to look up something that I want to know about, or read the newspaper, or whatever. But I mean, that you have to say to yourself that I am still going. You can't just sit there and lament that the fact that, well, I can't do as much as I used to. You should, set your own goals for
Yes.
things that you want to do, with friends, or with some particular hobby, or just going to the library, or whatever, meeting up with a friend for lunch or something. If you are homebound, and so many are, because you're fearful that you're going to fall down, or you're going to somehow or another not make it back to where you live, and
Could be.
so then hey,
Yeah.
invite somebody to you. I
Yes.
mean, and you have a phone, you can call somebody, and you're so neat because it's. We have the internet. We can find out anything. We can.
And don't be afraid. Maybe that's something, I think that a lot of people our age, we refuse to get into the new way of communicating. And it's a sad thing in that people don't talk as much because they do text and things like that. But on the other hand, if you're staying, we're living in a different world, and we have to adjust that we are in this new world.
You have to, be aware of what's going on.
Yes,
too,
be aware.
I always have felt that's really important. That you are a citizen, that you're, knowing what's going on in your own city or country,
Right.
And so that awareness makes you more vibrant too, because
And
you
you
have that information in you. You feel like you're informed, and I think that makes a big difference. And that's just a small thing.
Yeah.
It's like every year, everybody talks about making New Year's resolutions,
Yeah.
and I'm going to change myself to
Yeah,
this
it
year.
never happens.
But it's so monumental. So why not start small? Just think, okay, I am going to listen to the news. I am going to call a friend. Those are really small things to set for yourself. That and they're fun.
Maybe
something.
get in touch with that grandchild you haven't seen for a while.
Oh, Donna's done that.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's you'd be amazing. They can teach you many things.
It's that
Hard
positive
to-
thing that we were talking about earlier. That if you do, set your mind to being more positive. I mean, like, okay, you have that goal of, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to be more positive. I'm going to stop complaining. I'm not going to talk about illnesses. I'm not going to lament anything.
That's probably what you just hit on was what do old people do when they get together mostly?
Yeah, talk about
Their,
illness.
I got it in the shoulder today, or I got, and maybe try not to do that as much. I mean, we all do it. I don't care. We're all, if you're old, we all do it. But, and actually, it's one thing we all have in common.
Take a Tylenol.
Yeah, take a Tylenol and try to think about other things, that are happening. Watch the news, even if it's depressing at times. But, do.
So it's actually, we keep saying, well, if we just move around, explore, be the pioneer at your age, whatever it happens to be. Think about what you might want, or that you've always wanted to do, or you've had this little, teasing thing in your mind for years and years. Oh yeah, I'm going to do that. Do it. That's what we want to hear from you. Please do that, and always remember. It's between you and me.
Thanks for coming.